Okay, this is going to be our last installment of the workbook series of A Course in Miracles. And this today I'm going to take a look at what I would call the epilogue to the workbook. And the epilogue does a very good job, as does some of the other sections. There are some other sections in A Course in Miracles that I am sure people don't read because they think they've read the important parts in the texts that have gone before. There's a section at the end of the Manual for Teachers called As for the Rest. And if you want to read a very plaintive discussion as to what and why your best interests are served by turning decisions over to the Holy Spirit, read that section. The thing that I find interesting about these is, take for example the workbook of A Course in Miracles. The beginning lessons are designed to undo our thinking. Okay? Until our thinking is undone, the words that we're reading on the page don't necessarily align and converge with the meaning that the author is attempting to convey to us, and in the opening of our mind to the ability to join with him and communicate. Okay? It takes a while, which is why the Manual for Teachers, and especially As for the Rest, as this section, are written in such plain English because you've spent so much time working on your mind to straighten your perception out, to learn how to let all things be and mean exactly what they do. That you no longer need some of the complexities that Jesus utilized when he was offering you lessons in undoing, or some of the complexities of language that seem to exist in the text, although what it's saying is quite simple. The way the language is crafted becomes complex to the ego because the ego is designed to not hear and not allow the undoing to happen. But once your mind and your commitment and your trust has been put in this because of experiences, or you've decided to believe it and have faith in it, which is the other side, the thinking and the logic becomes fairly normal and obvious, except it becomes illogical when there's a spot where you don't want to apply it, which is interesting, and that's the signal for the necessity of the application. But remember, this course is a beginning. It's not an end. That's why further down it says, no more specific lessons are assigned, for there is no more need of them. Okay, now, what I'm saying here is, who are you going to trust? Jesus and this course, or your own thinking that you need to continue to do these over and over again? And why would you want to do them over and over again when the lessons that are brought to you as a happy learner, through the utilization and the willingness to go through the book in the first place, the lesson in the first place, bring you to a spot you are as certain of arriving home as is listen to this, as is the pathway of the sun laid down before it rises, after it has set, and in the half-lit hours in between. Now, I want you to understand that the logic behind that statement is the exact same logic and truism behind the certainty that the script is written, for the same reasons. Indeed, your pathway is more certain still, for it cannot be possible to change the course of those whom God has called to him. Now, the only question you need to answer there, are you one who has God called to him? Because if you are, then you will trust this to be a representative of where you are finding yourself, and allow it to be true because it's true by your decision. if you believe this to be true, okay, have faith that what it's saying is true. Put your faith and trust in it and not the thinking of the egoic mind or the minds of men in the world. Read what this says. Put your faith in the belief system that's being offered to you by a divine mind. Put your trust in the principles that have brought you the experiences that have showed you you are trustworthy, and this is trustworthy. There is no more specific lessons or assigned. He will direct your efforts, telling you exactly what to do, how to direct your mind, and when to come to him in silence, asking for his sure direction and his certain word. His is the word that God has given you. His is the word you chose to be your own. It's always, if you understand the nature of what he was talking about with the pathway of the sun, then you understand the nature of the fact that the script is written. Once you entered into a moment of separation, somewhere along the line, you saw rightly that you no longer wanted it. And in that moment, and that moment is the same moment that we all come to, we become part of the miraculous return to a place we never left, and a journey without distance that requires the utilization of our mind in service to our soul for the purpose of the atonement and the salvation of man. It has nothing to do with what the ego and the world would have you believe, and everything to do with the ability for you to decide for the atonement and allow the atonement and the lessons you need to learn and that which you need to do lead the way. Okay? You can do that because you do it every day. You put trust and faith in things every single day and get the result of your putting of that trust and faith into it. This is slightly different, although it utilizes the same action of nine. He knows the way to solve all problem and resolve all doubt. If you are having doubt about this, doing the lessons again is your attempt to solve the doubt without going to him and offering him your doubt to salve and settle in you, because it's only an experience that will settle it. The more you reinforce the doubt by using techniques of doubt, the more you will stay in the condition of doubt. This is saying, yes, you've done these lessons. Now it's time to let me take over and bring you the gifts and the fruits of the lessons that you've done. Just have a moment faith in yourself and what you've been doing. Trust in this as you've trusted in the lessons that have brought you the experience that has shown you the trustworthy nature of reality. This is here. And now I place you in his hands to be his faithful followers, with him as guide through every difficulty, all pain that you may think is real. Okay, so the idea that, well, it's just not real, isn't the solution to the suffering of the pain that you're experiencing as real. An experience of what you are beyond the need to suffer. And a healing that comes from the misperception that's causing you to suffer is an experience that's beyond the concept of healing and is what healing itself is. He will continue now. Let him prepare you far further. He has earned your trust by speaking daily to you. Okay, he's earned your trust and you've earned his. Now operate in the trust and service of the Lord. And don't turn this into another religion and litany, where in which, because it's the first of the year, you start all over. Give yourself the benefit of what he's offering to you in the certainty that you can utilize it, because we're using the same mind that he's offering it to us with. The end is certain and the means as well. To this we say amen. we will be told exactly what God wills for us each time there is a choice to make. And each time we allow that choice to be made by the voice for God, through the will of God, the solution is for the benefit of the totality of our brothers in the brotherhood of man and the salvation of mankind. And he will speak for God and for yourself, thus making sure that hell will not claim you, and that each choice you make brings heaven nearer to your reach. And so we walk with him from this time on and turn to him for guidance, for peace, and right direction. Joy attends our way, for we go homeward to an open door which God has held unclosed to welcome us. This is incredible. We trust our ways to him. We trust our ways to him. And what he just told us is no more formal lessons are planned. Now, the individual part of this, where the real joy and the real sort of experiences of going beyond concepts, and the joy of recognizing that you finally accomplished something which can't cause you to lose what you gain by the accomplishment, comes into play when you let this be. We ask his will and everything. He loves God's Son as we would love him. And he teaches us how to behold him through his eyes and love him as he does. His love surrounds you. And of this be sure, that I will never leave you comfortless. Okay? Test drive that statement by allowing yourself the space and time for the voice for God to make true on the promises he's offering to you in this epilogue. There's no need to go back when the stillness of your mind, holding it in the allowance for the hearing of the voice for God, allows you to travel much further than the speed of even light, because you're traveling instantaneously in the infinite speed of love and the eternal reality that you were created to be part of.